we're going to talk about, or we should talk about, these 10 Republicans in the Senate who voted in favor of essentially a Democrat, a radical leftist gun control bill here. But before we even get into these individuals and what their problem is, why they are caving to the leftist narrative, which purports the leftist ideology, it's mind-boggling to me, actually, that anybody in the country would fall for this, that voters specifically would fall for this, that anyone would believe that the same leftist politicians who assure us that they won't weaponize red flag laws against us as Christians and conservatives, why we would believe them when repeatedly over the course, we can just take examples from the last 4 or 5 years during the Trump administration and the Biden administration, maybe a little bit in the Obama administration too, where the power of the federal government has been weaponized against us. Think about the IRS. During the Obama administration, the IRS was used to target the political opponents of Barack Obama. This was the era of the Tea Party. And what did the IRS do? They looked at applications for tax-exempt status, for nonprofit status, and they actually did a search for terms like liberty and freedom and God and eagle and flag and all these words associated, yes, with conservative nonprofits. And then they discriminated against those people. They didn't give them nonprofit status. This was the IRS weaponized against you and against I based on political ideology. It was screening us based on our beliefs. And it wasn't an isolated incident. I know that that's what the left likes to say. Oh, these were some random misbehaving employees in the Cincinnati, Ohio office. Well, no, it wasn't. It went all the way up to the top, all the way up to Lois Lerner. And well, how can you defend a federal government agency having power over our lives when they've demonstrated that they'll abuse it? Look at the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice in the Trump administration, this obviously is the biggest example in the forefronts of all of our minds here. But Donald Trump, Michael Flynn, what did the Department of Justice do? Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and all the folks at the Department of Justice, at the behest of Hillary Clinton and, her desire, her funding of the Steele dossier, and oh, what a tangled web we weave. That whole coup attempt was by a federal government agency that was weaponized against people like Donald Trump and Michael Flynn, but really Donald Trump represented us, right? Because we voted for him. Weaponized against Donald Trump based on what? Based on his politics and ideology. Why would we trust a government over our fundamental constitutionally protected rights when they've already demonstrated to us that they will target us based on our political beliefs? This is true with the Department of Education as well and the Department of Homeland Security. What did the Department of Education do? They threatened public schools across the country with they threatened them if they didn't allow biological males in female locker rooms and on female sports teams. They're trying to target people, you and I and our children, based on our ideology, based on the fact, well, in this case, the ideology is just basic science and common sense and safety and privacy and security and reality. But still, you understand my point here. The Department of Education, that was under Obama as well, targeted schools based on transgender bathroom issues, which is targeting us based on our religious belief. The Department of Homeland Security wrote a letter or was involved based on a letter that we've seen was involved in targeting parents, calling parents domestic terrorists. Why? Because these parents didn't want critical race theory taught to their children. These parents were pushing back on school board meetings. These parents were actually running for school board seats and unseating existing incumbent members of school boards who were trying to push Marxist racism on little kids in school. And the Department of Homeland Security tried to label the parents as domestic terrorists. We've seen this time and time again. Why would we give? These are all executive branch agencies that have demonstrated their willingness to weaponize themselves. When I say weaponize themselves, the bureaucrats that run the agencies will weaponize the power of the agency to target you and to target me based on what we believe.